Pisces South Node and Virgo transit? Are we in a North Node and Pisces South Node and Virgo? What's good, y'all? It is a rainy storm checking in, okay? And if you are ready to evolutionary your life, you come to the right place. All right, my name is Rainy Storm, crew, aka a Rainy Storm, checking in. Welcome to my humble abode. For those of y'all that's coming in for the first time, welcome. For those of y'all that are returning, hello. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a minute. All right, I know I haven't been trying to keep y'all on ice. The girl's been traveling. All right, and January has been like, January has been like my little time to like decompress. So forgive me if you could, please. I would, no, don't, you don't have to forgive me. I'm here. So let's get into it, shall we? First things first, I'll talk about some of the things that we'll be covering today. We'll be talking a little bit about the North Node and South Node, of course. We'll be also covering and going through some of the previous cycles, like just what was happening at this time of the North Node in the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And then we will be talking a little bit about what this transit is going to look like. So if you're interested in learning a little bit about that, no, we will not be doing all signs in this video. I'm actually planning on dropping like individual all sign videos. So if you're, thinking about that, like, what is it for my rising sign? I'll probably be dropping that throughout next week. So y'all can just stay tuned for that. This is just an overall synopsis, okay, of the North Node and Virgo, South Node, and Pisces. I know y'all, like, I'm not trying to be smacking during this video. I literally woke up and started my cycle, of course, on the North Node in Pisces. And the Cancer full moon right around the corner. And so, who is that? Hey, BB. What's up, boo? How you doing, boo? You started your cycle? What are we, like, I feel like there's like some type of in sync shit going on. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I woke up this morning and it's crazy because I didn't even, usually when I do start my stuff, he said we got to be connected. We got to be, for real. Like, usually, like, I start to feel it before. Like, I feel it days before I start my cycle and I'm like, damn, okay, am I about to start it? I woke up this morning, I had a crazy ass dream. I was crashing out in my dream. Well, I was having a good time, and then all of a sudden I like crashed the fuck out in my dream, and I'm like, wait, whoa. Everybody woke up and was like, yeah, there was like 4 people that was saying they about to crash out. They about to crash out, And then I woke up the next morning in my dream, and they were like, yeah, you was cool, and then at the end of the function, you had crashed out. And I said, whoa. And I woke up and immediately grabbed my Uchiwali, and I knew it was the blood was like flowing to my spot, and I said, oh, I mean I knew it was coming soon, but I didn't know it was coming today. I had plans to do, I had stuff to do today. Shoot, I was trying to go camping, in the backyard and stuff. I mean, I can still do that. It's about support, and I don't do mosquitoes. I do have a little net, but like I want to do it while it's sunny into the night. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get into it for real. I hope everybody's been good. I hope everybody's been great. I hope everybody's been swell. So I knew yesterday my cycle was coming. I tried in a weird dream last night. I don't know what's up right now. I don't either. It's kind of weird. I'm like, wait, what? What's really going on? Can you hear me? Do I sound echoey? Because I'm in the front room. I'm in a different room. So can y'all hear me okay? Am I clear? Is it too much like background noise, or am I good before I start? Because I don't want to record this video. Okay, cool. I'm like, I don't want to record this video. I'm like, shit. Damn it. My mic, for some reason, when I went to New York in July, I have my mics, the things that I speak through, but the thing to turn it on went missing. I don't know where it is, so I have to order another one. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. First of all, if anybody's going to speak about this transit, it's going to be me, okay? I am a Pisces rising myself. of course, in Western astrology, and also on the cusp of Virgo in Western astrology as well as a Leo Virgo. So, if anybody's going to talk about this transit, I believe with almost 33 years of experience, it's going to be me. All right, it's going to be me. I'm going to be the one to talk about it. So let's talk. Let's share, shall we? I'm getting to my notes. All right. So, the dates that we have for the North Node in Virgo and the South Node in Pisces. So, it started today, and then we'll be funneling through this transit till April 27th, 2026. So, we got a little bit of time with this transit, okay? And, there's some things that I want to clear up around this particular transit because I think a lot of times we get fixated, I think, on pop culture, and their own, this is what this each side, but we gotta get deeper, all right? We gotta go a little bit deeper to talk about these signs and what particularly they're going to be doing throughout this year and next year, okay? Mind you, okay, we still have Saturn in Pisces, okay? Jupiter will be moving into Cancer in the middle of the year. Neptune will be moving into Aries. Saturn will be moving into Aries, okay, this year. Uranus will be moving into Gemini. So with all this commotion going on, all right, and everything that's like shifting and changing, and then the nodes shifting into completely different times, which is completely different from Aries and Libra, completely different energy. We are going through, as y'all I'm sure have seen at the end of, we've been going through it collectively, but just the nonstop episodes that we've been having since 2025. Well, I don't really count it to the spring for real. Like, I'm a spring 2025er. But if we're going in the context of this new year, okay, January is in, all right? So it's a lot of craziness going on. And we're going to talk about why that is. The astrology is insane right now. Me personally, I'm in the house, because to a degree. I do my thing, but at the most part, I'm just like, yo, because it's insane. Spiritually and also physically, okay? But we'll talk. So, dates are January 11th to April 27th, 2026. Then we have the last transit, and I'm going to go over the numbers of the transit. The last transit that we had for the South Node and Virgo and the North Node in Pisces, think about what was happening in your life around June 23rd, 2006 to December 18th, 2007. That was the last time we had this previous transit. For me personally, I was actually in my first freshman year of high school, okay? So for me personally, it's been feeling really nostalgic, and I'll get into that later as to why when we kind of wrap up and things, and we'll just do a little chit chat. But it's been feeling really nostalgic for a specific reason. And then, so the previous dates before that was December 3rd, 1987 to May 22nd, 1989. Then we have April 20th, 1968 to November 2nd, 1970. We have July 27th, 1950 through March 28th, 1952. And then the last date previous to date was December 29th, 1931 to June 24th, 1933, which was around the time of the Great Depression. It was June 23rd, 2006 through December 18th, 2007 is when the last time we had the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. So think about around what was happening at the time. If you were born before those times, also think about what was happening in your life. If not, like what was actually happening around the world. Because the thing about it is, we could talk about the astrology of what's happening, but if we start to go back to see, that's the evolutionary astrology, right? If we start to go back to see what was happening, like these different patterns that were happening in the world during this time, it's not to say that those same things will be happening in that order, okay? No, Mama D. What we're saying is that you can start to see similar. And I have some things that I wrote down that I was like, especially in the 30s. I mean, different eras, but I'm going to go to like the previous transit and then the first transit and talk about exactly what was happening during those times. And I'm seeing very parallel universes that's happening currently now in this time. I mean, from the weather, from tsunami, fire, the Social Security, when that came into play, the New Deal. And I'll talk about what that was presented when Franklin Roosevelt in the 30s was nominated for the Democratic Party, or actually was basically being president, which we'll talk about a little bit, and what they proposed as the world was going through the Great Depression in the 30s. So it's so interesting, right? Yeah. Anyway, so what we're talking about here is the nodal axis of the 6th house, and we're talking about the 12th house. So Virgo ruling over and residing over the 6th house, and then Pisces riding over the 12th house. And so before we get into the energies, I did mention again, which we'll do separate videos for. I want y'all to know, so y'all are, when you look at this again, you'll see we're going to do separate videos for Saturn going into Aries, Neptune going into Aries, Uranus going into Gemini, and also Jupiter going into Cancer during the spring and summer. So I mentioned those things, but I'm not going to go too deep into those things on this video. We will definitely make a separate video for those, and all signs as well for those videos. So just stay tuned for that. This specifically is only focused on as I've had people ask me about if I'm going to be talking about the other transits, and I will be. It's just we need to focus. Let's focus on this one first. Okay. And so let's talk about the significant events that happened first, and then we'll go into the energy of Pisces and Virgo. So the last transit and the first transit. So the last transit from 2006 to 2007, Mike Zuckerberg, whatever his name is, he created Facebook at this time from 2006. And when I really thought about it, I'm like, dang, did we go into or did I go into high school with Facebook? And yes, we did. It was like, I remember entering high school and everybody was like, oh, it's this new social media thing that everybody wants to get on, But I remember it was Facebook, there was Twitter, but Twitter was like, I think 2008, 2009. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But it was for celebrities first, and then business and all that kind of stuff was on Twitter first. And then everybody started to join in. And I say that to say, because it's just interesting now that we're having this TikTok, battle royale thing going on. Again, I'll talk a little bit about that because that's more Pluto, I would say, in Aquarius, and more Uranus and Gemini. But I wanted to kind of mention that because that was actually starting at the time that the North Node went into Pisces and the South Node was in Virgo. Google also bought YouTube at this time of 2006 to 2007. The International Union of the International Astronomical Union is what it's called, the IAU, redefined Pluto, the planet Pluto, as a dwarf planet versus a planet. So I know that there's been a lot of talk and in the astrology community, is Pluto actually a real planet? Is it a real planet? I've been back and forth with people about that all the time. How are you counting Pluto as a planet? It's not even a planet. Listen, there's a lot of stuff we don't know about space, still to this day. Now, I will say, with Pluto going into Aquarius, the North Node going into Aquarius after this Pisces North Node transit is over, space stations is going to be opening. Okay, people been talking about Mars and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is going to be stuff that's, we're talking about aliens and stuff now, when they said we was conspiracy theories back in the day, right? But all this stuff is going to be coming to the light when we, move into these, newer transits or these deeper transits and things like that. And we'll talk about that. Also, I want to mention during this time from 2006 to 2007 with the North Node of Pisces, South Node of Virgo, the United States housing bubble, the foreclosure crisis happened during this time. I don't know if y'all remember that time. I remember that time because I remember we had to get up and move immediately during this time. My mama was stressing packing bags during this time, packing up stuff in the house. We was all it was because there was a whole foreclosure thing going on. And so it says where it files up to 42% people that had to file for foreclosure and things like that during this time. And so it's interesting to see that in 2006, because now I haven't heard anything much about quote unquote foreclosures, but the housing bubble is capped. And when I say that, of course we know, especially in the US and also in other places, the ability to be able to pay for your basic necessities, food, water, shelter, all those things are flying, skyrocketing high right now. So yeah, water was also discovered on Mars, quote unquote, during this time. And I say quote unquote because, like I said, y'all, the government and their own people, they be lying. And sometimes we really just don't be knowing until we get there. You feel me? Like, I know that there's other planets and things that exist out in the world. Like, I'm pretty sure, so sure of it. But sometimes I just be like, yeah. Especially, I don't know if y'all watched there's like a NASA documentary. I think it was on Netflix. I watched it years ago. And I was just like, I be feeling like the Truman Show sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Another story for another time. We'll get into that another time. But anyway, so 2006, this was 2006, just a couple of tidbits from 2006 to 2007, okay? Now, if we go to the earliest transit, which that transit is from 1931 to 1933, some of the things that were happening during this time was the Great Depression. Now, the Great Depression started from 1929 to 1941 during this time. Excuse me? I'm trying to make a video up in here. Goddamn. Anyway, 1929 to 1941, we had the Great Depression, and it also was the ending of World War II in 1941. So this was happening during this time. I'm not going to go into what the Great Depression was, but let's just say, for those of y'all that don't know what the Great Depression is, it's looking real familiar these days with what's going on in the world with housing and homelessness and people not being able to buy, people having to buy packages of egg cartons for $15. Okay, there's a word on the street is what I heard is happening. Okay, in America. I mean, it's skyrocketed since I lived in America, but I'm just saying it's crazy out here right now. So it's definitely mirroring Great Depression. And this was happening especially during the war times, I should say, as well. Also, too, the Star-Spangled Banner. I know it sounds minute, but I didn't realize it until I had to cat back on my childhood of like what was going on. But the Star-Spangled Banner becomes an official U.S. national anthem. So when we used to stand up and put our hands on our hearts and do the national anthem and all that kind of stuff, that was a 1931 case. And, it really didn't dawn on me that we used to stand up every day to recite the national anthem, like pledging our allegiance to a country that never gave a damn about us. It really dawned on me when I had to peel back the layers. And I was like, we were really coerced. And honestly, if I'm going to be real, intricate spell work, but that's just me. Okay, to say the national anthem every single day. I remember it specifically. I don't remember it in high school, and maybe we did in high school, and I just don't remember. I think we did, but I remember it specifically in elementary school and middle school, and we'll get into that later as to why I'm bringing the national anthem specifically up into the mix or whatever. Also, like I was talking about before, the New Deal. Okay. Franklin Roosevelt was elected or inaugurated, whatever, as president during this time for the Democratic Party. Yeah, BB. It did feel very weird singing it. And I remember specifically, I'm going to get back to it. I remember specifically there was a time where some other kids started not wanting to or removing themselves from singing the national anthem. And it was a huge problem. Like, people had a huge problem with people not singing the national anthem. Like, it was disrespectful. And it's like, but the thing about it is nobody ever explained to us why we had to do it in the first place. And why are we pledging our allegiance to a country that don't give a damn? Okay, calm down. Calm down. It's okay. It's not okay. But to a country that never gave a fuck about us. Okay. Next, the New Deal. Okay. To a flag that we literally, that disrespected our ancestors left and right. Literally, left and right. Why are we pledging allegiance? But anyway, because is my allegiance to y'all now? Hell no, and it never was. I just didn't know what I was talking about at the time. You got me, okay? So that's that. Anyway, New Deal. I want y'all to also look this up. Write it down if you need to. Please look up the New Deal, 1932, Franklin Roosevelt. There was 2 phases of the New Deal. Keep in mind, 2 phases. We're in phase 1 of 2025, but this was happening in 1930. Keep in mind. The attempt to provide recovery and release from the Great Depression. These started programs of agriculture programs. And I'm going to tell you where this started from, where this originally stemmed from, where they got the ideas from, okay? Well, because of the Great Depression. Because us, as a culture, okay, African Americans, we're starting programs to assist people, free programs, might I add you, to assist people during the Great Depression. They took that program and made it into a just like they did with the Black Panthers. That's a whole other conversation for another time. We're not in the 60s, 70s yet. Whole other conversation for another time. They took that program and made it into a government program to provide relief and assistance for the American people, okay? And so they did an agricultural, business regulations, inflation, price stabilization, and public works. Now, I want to say this. It sounds like relief. It sounds like you're being helped and saved during this time. But you know what it sounds like to me? A pimp and a hoe. And before, listen, and I'm going to explain to you why, okay? Because it sounds like an abusive relationship to me. Like, it's like one of those things where, and when I say this, and for those of y'all, I explain it in a different way. When you you smack the spit out to people and be like, go make my money. You're going to make my money, and then you're going to turn around and be like, but I cooked a good meal for you. And I love you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I love you. And it's an abusive relationship with the system is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm trying to break down to y'all. You cause all this chaos, okay, ensue war and violence over the people. And then you turn around and be like, but look what we provided for you. If you just listen to what we have to say and you follow what we've asked you to do, we'll provide you what you need. These programs weren't just programs of like, free, whatever. And even if they were free relief programs, they always come with some type of cost or some type of price. And I don't mean like a physical money cost. I mean like, sign the dotted line and you'll sign your whole life away type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't real relief. If anything, they were free labor, like basically, I wanted to say not hunching off the people, but like siphoning energy off the people to rebuild their stuff for free, because y'all done caused all this destruction. So now you're gonna bring these programs to the people talking about we're gonna provide you with these programs to take care of you, when really they're not. They're just siphoning free labor. So this is the first siphoning free labor and basically building bricks off the backs of the people. That was phase 1. Phase 2, which we're not going to go into for real. I mean, it was like another phase of phase 1 into phase 2. And that happened during 1935 to 1941. Also during this time, the Social Security system was also established during this time in 1935, shortly after the North Node left Pisces into Aquarius. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these phases are what I'm seeing in these phases. Because keep in mind, Pisces is the end. Pisces is the end. When Pisces, you have Pisces on any end of the stick, it's the last sign of the zodiac. It's the ending. So anytime we're going through, and I've seen like historically culturally, these major transitions where things are coming to an end, there's 3 things that I see: the economy, family dynamics, whether it's like marital or whatever, and what else did I put on there? The economy. It was economy, family, and belief system. So faith, religion. Also, too, Pisces deals with faith and religion. Okay, the Christ Jesus Savior. Okay, is Pisces. And not just Christ, it's like any kind of spiritual beliefs. But these things happen where it comes into this conversion. Okay, I don't know if y'all seen Interview with the Vampire. Y'all know, for those of y'all that do know me, know I will talk this thing down. But there was a mention where Louis was talking to Daniel Malloy. And he talks about, oh, you didn't hear? Oh, we're moving into the Great Conversion. And Daniel was like, basically, not trying to be, oh, really, it's going to be a great conversion. Yeah, this is the Great Conversion. They've done it many times over, where they haul all the memories and the books and our ancestral knowledge that we kept in books and tombs and all that kind of stuff, and either take it or burn it to a stake or hide it under the Vatican. Yeah. So nobody can have access to it and burn it, so we can't remember, or we can't spread information to each other, right? Yeah, those things happen. And then they introduce a new money system. Instead of having gold, now we have cash. Or instead of having cowrie shells, now we have all these new things to, basically subjugate us or keep us locked into a system, is what's happening. And that's what's happening this year. That's what they're going to try to introduce this year, okay? And so, with all that being said, let's get into it. Pisces, North Node, and then the South Node access in Virgo. Now, before we get into those, for those of y'all that don't know, what we talk about the North Node and the South Node, like what is the North Node? What is the South Node? Collectively, okay, you have your own, individually, I should say, you have your own North Node and South Node. Usually ruled by generation. And it is a 9-year. Yes, thank you very much, BB. It is a 9-year, the year of transformation. Okay, the final countdown. Oya energy, as y'all seen on my photo if you are in my community tab. It's storms, winds, change, transformation, things literally being burnt to the ground. For those of y'all that are Pluto and Scorpio generation, we up next, because Pluto and Scorpio, or Scorpio energy is fixed. Aquarius energy is fixed with Pluto and Scorpio, so it's going to be squaring each other for the next 20 years. This tension between, so we being called to the front, all right? You know what I'm saying? But we all, like I was saying, have our own individual North Node calling. For me personally, North Node in Sagittarius, South Node in Gemini. And so, but collectively, we are experiencing the transit. Yes, Pluto and Scorpio, big Pluto Scorpio. And that's another reason why a lot of this stuff is coming to course. Like, we're seeing things come to course during this transit. Like, Pluto and Scorpio is the complete destruction of it all. And also Aquarius is too. Like, let's not forget, before I get into this, Aquarius is the anarchist, okay? Aquarius is very much so take it all to the ground. Now, I'm not saying that in relation to what's going on with the fires and everything like that. I do believe that it has already been pre-planned, those things that are happening. This is not a coincidence. We are under attack, okay? So this is not like no, we're under attack. We were under attack spiritually and physically for many years, and now it's just coming to a different side of town. I'll say that, okay? Because we all connected in all of this. I don't want y'all to know this. We all connected. All right, and I think we feel that more than ever, especially with Pisces and Virgo, this energy. And I call this access, or I've called this access the access of the spiritual realm. I know we have mutable earth, which is Virgo, and we have mutable water, which is Pisces. And we talk about Virgo in the mundane sense of like the everyday life, the routine, the mundane. But y'all have to understand, Before the Western civilization took over astrology, and we started talking about it in day-to-day terms, all of them are coming from a very ancient place. Virgo is the sign of the mystery schools, okay? You got to go through the darkness before you can come out. When we talk about the first 6 houses, it's like the day, and then the next is like the night, the dark night of the soul. When you start to like really actualize and get into your purpose, you have to go inward first. Virgo and Pisces is very inward. We're very inward signs. It depends, all right? It can be kind of in and out. Pisces, and also too, I want to say this, especially if we're talking about like the symbolism of the 2 fish going in opposite directions. Okay, ancient astrology wise, I know we see Virgo as the maiden, but Virgo actually used to be the twins as well, quite like Gemini. I mean, it's mercurial ruled. It's always having messages going back and forth and things like that. And so these were the twins. One twin we seen as the quote unquote purification, the virgin, and the other one was the whore, quote unquote, because you know how they do us women. Anyway, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being the hoe. I'm just saying, in other terms, right? These 2 energies was the duality of the fact that we are not 100% pure, and we're not always in the quote unquote light, and we're not always quote unquote in the dark. We have a balance of these 2 energies, very yin yang kind of energy. All right. So I say this to say, and then we have Uranus and Gemini. We have Jupiter and Gemini right now. Then Uranus is going to be going into Gemini. So we're going to have a lot of like these mutability dualities of things can go this way and things can go that way, and things is all over the place. Okay. So with the nuts and bolts of Virgo, we'll talk about that energy first. Collectively, as we're going through this transit, is things that we are energetically bringing in, but also releasing at the same time. South Node is not always about just releasing or letting go of those things all the way, absolutely and completely. Okay, hello, Joseph, or D. Joseph, what's going on? And everybody else that's in the chat, hello, say what's up. But we are finding balance in between the 2. You need to find a middle ground in between these 2 energies is what's happening. Also, too, South Node is very past life as well. It's things that you have brought into your past life or bringing into your past life. So, like I said, you can release some qualities of the South Node, but it's also just trying to find a happy medium in the between as we are moving through this energy, okay? So, when we talk about the energy of Virgo, this is the energy of, like I said, earth and mutability. So it's never really having a fully stable foundation. It's movable. It's stubborn, but it's movable, right? We stubborn, but we movable, right? We have the energy that rules the intestines. It rules it's how you not only digest food, but also how you digest information, the things that are going on around you. Your stomach does a lot of work. Your intestines does a lot of work in digesting or making things digestible for you and the world around you, okay? So think about it in a physical sense, but also in a spiritual sense when it comes to this energy. Also is mercurial rules with communication, where we have Gemini, which shares Mercury with Virgo. We have Gemini, who is formulating the thought. And then we have Virgo, who is communicating the thought. So Gemini is like, I'm seeing what's around me. Like, I'm seeing these things. It's like a baby. It's like a kid when they first go into a store or a candy store or a shop or whatever. And they're looking around and they're like, I'm seeing all these things around me. I want to touch that. Ooh, this is hot. Ooh, this is this. And then Virgo's like, the parent is like, didn't I tell you? I told you. Listen, baby, I told you not to touch that shit. I told you not to touch it, and you touched it anyway, goddamn. And then so you formulate these thoughts. You formulate, and you're like, okay, well, now I can, figure out what I'm thinking and how I can communicate, and I can see things, And so that's where Virgo comes into this energy. It is on a mundane level, a day-to-day, routines, activity, your health and wellness, organization. It also rules the Hermit card in tarot. So this is, like I said, going inward. You know what I mean? Finding that space of like going inside yourself, going into your proverbial cave, listening to what the universe and spirit and the messages have got to tell you, and then you come out with new knowledge and able to share that with the greater collective. Okay, a lot of times I notice in like old ancient text or like stories and things like that, you'll often see that like seers, I would definitely say, have like some type of Virgo Pisces energy, like people who've had like premonitions and dreams, especially because Virgo rules the harvest. So people who could like see if there was going to be a drought this year, or if their crops was going to be good for, for the next year, if everybody was going to be able to have the food, whether that's in a physical sense or in a spiritual sense, and they would, go into their sleep or whatever, however they got the messages, and then wake up or go into the woods and then come out and tell the townspeople like, hey, I seen this story on TikTok not too long ago. I forget her name, but once I get her name, I'll put it in the description box. And she basically lived in the woods by herself on her own, in this place called Taylor City. And basically, the townspeople would go to her and everything to, get spiritual help and things like that, and different ailments healed and stuff like that with her. And then the fever came. Okay, the yellow fever had came, or something like that had came, or whatever, and people started getting sick. So these same townspeople that was going to this woman for help with these physical ailments, and she lived on a swamp by herself, on a stacked home in the middle of the water in the swamp by herself. Instead of them, seeking her for that, they basically blamed her for the fever. They thought that she was basically spelling them to the fever. And so basically the townspeople was trying to basically run up, and spirit gonna do what spirit gonna do. And so she went into the woods, she made this concoction, she put the cauldron in the middle of the town, and on the note, it told the people to drink the stuff, the stuff that she had concocted or she had made or whatever. Nobody knew where it came from, though. And then as they started drinking this ailment, one by one, the townspeople started drinking this ailment or whatever, or this healing brew or whatever you want to call it. The folks started getting better. They was really, really sick, and they started getting better. And basically, it was like a sign. Basically, they said, leave me the hell alone after this. She was basically like, don't come back around here no more. Listen, I ain't the one that you're mad at, all right? Because you probably ain't washing your ass. That's just me, okay? So, basically, stuff like that, little stuff. I know it's a crazy story or whatever, but little stuff like that. So, going into these proverbial, going into these proverbial places where you need, the hermiting things to get and download these messages in order to know. And that is just like a minute level of like the things that could be happening in these particular times, where you're getting these downloaded messages of like, maybe what to drink instead of what to drink to heal your body, or maybe like a place that you need to go instead of being in the place that you reside, or maybe you need to be moving this way instead of this way. You know what I'm saying? Those things, right, that we're coming into. Also, too, Virgo rules in service to the people, to service, to self also as well. Not just the people. You are not a martyr, okay? You got to serve yourself before you serve the people. Because the only way you're going to be able to serve the people to the utmost good, all right, is if you're serving yourself and making sure that you're taken care of and making sure that you're okay. All right, and I want y'all to keep that in mind as we move through this transit, because a lot of times in the Virgo and Pisces axis, there can be a lot of output instead of input, okay? So just keep that in mind. And there's nothing wrong with serving yourself. I know a lot of times people call things, there's a difference between there's a difference between being quote unquote selfish, and there's a difference between actually being self-serving, which to me, those things can actually be very beneficial for the self, because you need to serve yourself in order to serve other people, period, point blank, okay? So keep that in mind. Also, too, we did talk about the virgin purity, purification, ancient, whatever. Mystery schools, alchemy, boundaries as well. If we're talking about shuffling through the harvest with Virgo, you got to make the checks, okay? You got to be able to look at the food and be like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me scroll up this real quick. Oh, no, we can't keep this food. This is bad. Everybody take a bite out of this, they're going to fall short. You know what I'm saying? So it's making the checks, you know, knowing when to place the boundaries. And not just physical boundaries. Now, it can be physical boundaries with people because, I mean, we are in the North Node in Pisces. And Pisces has no bounds. So Virgo is like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me discern the situation. Scope the scenery out first before we deciding to, like, follow suit into something else, all right? So just peep the scene. Scope the scenery out, all right? Not too much, though, because you don't want to get stuck in that. You know, scope it just a little bit. A little bound, you know. And then we have Mother Earth also as well. As we can see, she is tired, okay? With the South Node in Virgo, Mother Earth is tired, okay? So there are things that are happening, I do believe, that is being started completely beyond our control. And I don't mean in a spiritual sense. I mean like people are actually starting things purposefully. But I also do believe that there's spiritual reckoning that is also happening as well. Because Mother Earth is tired of being treated like she ain't providing, okay? Like she ain't providing for us all. The oxygen, the food, the shelter, the animals, to us, you know? And so we're going to start to see more changes to the environment, and not just on somebody else's hand or weather control, or just purposely, you know, burn these things to the ground, but like actual physical things. And also too, ancient things opening up. I want y'all to know, and I've said this before on previous videos, and I'm gonna say it again. We are going to start to see things that we have never seen before. Okay? Never seen before to this day in our lives. And when I say that, I mean not just the aliens, because we are the aliens. We're going to be seeing physical and spiritual beings and things opening up, not only by water, but by sky, in nature, okay, that are going to start revealing themselves to us, okay? So if you have a couple jaw-dropping moments, because you're seeing something, it's probably because you are. You're not crazy. You're seeing something. Something is there. All right? I just want to keep that in mind in this time. Don't doubt yourself if you see something that you've never seen before. Okay? Okay, y'all? Promise me? Pinky promise, Pinky swear? Okay, moving on. We'll get into that another day. All right. And I say this to say because Pisces, of course, is all 12 signs into one. And it's the last. It's the end. So, you know, this is people coming into maybe languages, you know, that they haven't spoken in bloodlines ago. You know, this is people coming into knowledges, receiving downloads from spirit. They're like, I don't know where this information is coming from, but for somehow I just know. Something is telling me, you know, when you get them, something is telling me to, something is telling me to follow it. You get that little pit in your stomach with Virgo ruling them intestines, you get a little pit in something is off. It's probably because it is. It's probably because it is, boo. Okay, so follow that. Follow that anytime you feel like that, I don't know, something is telling me. We'll get into that more with Pisces energy. So yes, purification, health and wellness, you know, communicating your ideas, smaller animals, having a plan. This is Virgo energy. And then control and teaching. Now, when we get to Pisces, we are going to have to, with the South Node in Virgo, relinquish control. Knowing that we will not always have the plan, okay? We will not always have this cookie cutter plan, and things might not always go according to plan, and that's okay. You have to be okay with things not always going according to plan. Some things just might be off. Some things might just take a little extra time. Some things might not work out as you planned it, because if we're talking about spirit and divine, I mean Pisces and Virgo, there's probably something, a higher calling or a higher plan that's coming into play for you to move on in this time. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Now with Pisces, we have mutable water. It rules over the feet. Okay, so take care of your feet at this time. Okay, everything touches the ground. Your feet touches everything. So take care of your feet at the time. Pisces also, what governs over Pisces planetary wise is Jupiter and Neptune. Okay. And also too, while I am saying this, you want to see where Pisces is moving through and, or what's going to be moving through Pisces for you. What am I trying to say? You want to see where Pisces is in your chart, and you want to see where Virgo is in your chart, because this is where this transit is going to be happening specifically for you. Again, if you just tuned in, I will be doing separate videos for rising signs for your rising. This is just the overall synopsis of what this energy could potentially be in this time, okay? We also have communication with the unseen, with Pisces energy, astro traveling, dreams, your subconscious world. This could heavily be like what we call self-undoing. You know, Pisces also, or the 12th house, rules over hospitals. It rules over isolation. It rules over your addictions. Okay, your subconscious patterns and subconscious thoughts. This is also past life energy as well too. When we talk about Pisces, a lot of past life incarnations. This is spirituality, religion, faith. You know, we're seeing this kind of Handmaid's Tale narrative that is happening in the world right now. For those of y'all that don't know, I don't know if you've seen Handmaid's Tale. Long story short, you know, we have a lot of I don't know why I just wanted to say Agent Smiths. It is given Matrix, but basically where women have zero rights and they're basically being governed by white men and other men as well, but you know, specifically, I'm just saying. And so what we have here is governors or political figures who have maidens, women, to serve a higher cause or a higher power in faith or religion, to be basically subservient, you know, where women don't have any rights and men are the ones that are ultimately in charge. So we're seeing this narrative play out where the women are to be, not to say that we are, but the narrative that they're trying to push where women are subservient to the men in all forms. We don't have any rights. We don't have any say-so. We don't have anything, basically, is what is some of the things that we're going to be seeing, or people basically, or the government trying to push into the narrative, you know. Do I think that's going to happen personally? No, I don't. I just think that the times that we're in and just all the stuff that we have been through in our past and just knowing what we know now, I just don't think that women are just easily ready to lay down and take it like this. I don't think it's going to be like it's going to be a struggle to keep that down in this particular time. I'm going to just say that right now, because I'm not saying that women were I'm not saying that women couldn't whatever back then. We just are different now. Okay, we got a different kind of mindset, and we're in different states now. Okay, so just saying, these are narratives that are being pushed through religion, through faith. Faith meaning like faith, quote unquote, faith religion or Christianity, and things that, you know, things that basically keep those things. So just keeping that in mind. Okay. We also have like this martyr complex with Pisces and sometimes even Virgo energy. You can't save everybody. Okay. I know that there's like this huge energy that carries within the Piscean Virgo axis of like wanting to help and wanting to, you know, give it all because you have a lot to give. I understand that, but baby, just know that it's not up to you to save everybody. Okay. you can save yourself first, okay? Get you right first before you get into this place of trying to, you know what I mean? And then you're left burnt out and not able to do the things that you actually want to do. So just keep that in mind, moving into this energy, okay? We talk about the moon card in tarot as well when it comes to Piscean energy. So again, the subconscious mind, service to others, the fish swimming in two different directions, the portal in between worlds is Pisces as well. Your spiritual abilities during this time also as well too will be heightening. It is a need, not a want, but a need that you get grounded in your spiritual self, your physical body. The Virgo Pisces energy is coming back connected to the spirit, the body. Virgo is the physical vessel. It encapsulates the physical vessel, while Pisces is the actual spirit in itself. I know we could say that for Aries, because Aries is the physical body. Like, I get it. But Virgo, I feel like, is the glue to the entire vessel itself, where Pisces is the actual spirit that encapsulates it. And so getting back into a place where your physical and spiritual body is, you're being seen, you're seeing your physical and spiritual body, you're getting connected back to your physical and spiritual body. So these spiritual abilities that are going to be making themselves known, if you haven't felt it already at this time, those things have a healthy place and a comfortable place to grow. Okay, you might start to feel a little bit more sensitive at this time. All right, and something keeps saying, like, I keep hearing like motion sickness. I'm not really sure why I'm hearing like motion sickness. If y'all start to have like really hard like headaches, or you wake up with like hard headaches, or maybe it's been hard for you to sleep, or maybe your dream world is just insane right now, it's probably because your body is like being basically new downloads coming into your physical and spiritual body. And so when you wake up, you're like, wait, what did I just see? What did I just hear? Like, what was that? You're being upgraded. Think of while Pluto is in Aquarius. I don't know why, now not like this, because I don't know why I just got like a scene from X-Men when Wolverine was getting like, he was in the lab and they was working on him. Not like that, because that was traumatic as hell. Wolverine woke up slashing because he's like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like that. I mean, and maybe that is your experience, but like, I'm thinking of it as like spiritually, ancestrally, working on it. Oh my, up to this point, I haven't had a hard time sleeping. I couldn't understand why, and I've been so tired. Yes, we are being I don't like saying reprogrammed, because it sounds so computer-like. It sounds such like a computer. And downloads even sounds like a computer, but just think of it as like a computer being upgraded. We're not computers, okay? I'm just saying we're being upgraded into something new. Like, and not even just something new. A lot of this I'm feeling like of old things coming back to pass, old things coming to pass, like things that maybe you in a previous lifetime once knew how to wield. Okay, no avatar. Okay, you're doing again, or you're coming back into these powers again. All right, so just keeping that in mind when we're moving through this energy, like your body needs time to rest. Your body needs time to retreat. You need spiritually and physically to be able to retreat. So you're able to get these downloads. You're able to get these messages. You're able to get these new spiritual abilities, or maybe even abilities that have laid a little doormat, in these past years, in these past decades and things like that. And so you can really feel into that. Like I said, it's going to be a very sensitive time. Our sensitivities are going to be heightened. All right. And so just keep that in mind when you're moving through this transit. If you feel tired, sleep. Okay. And listening to your body. If you're hungry and you can eat, eat. You know, like your body is going to be speaking to you. Your spirit is going to be speaking to you. If your spirit, if you're like, I don't know why I have this feeling to do such and such and such and such, but for some reason something, like I said, I know I keep saying something is telling me, and I say that because a lot of times me personally, I notice when I'm like, I don't know, something is telling me that I need to da 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 da. Usually because spirit is trying to, and like I said, I don't know how it goes for y'all, but it's trying to lead me into doing something. You know, your intuition is going to be gold this year and next year. I mean, really following these coming years. But this is like the prep. This is like the spirit. Like, think about yourself being in like a spiritual school or like a magic school or something like that. You know, I don't know, like some Harry Potter shit. I don't know. I watch Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like a diehard Harry Potter. But like you go into school, the school of magic. You know what I'm saying? And you learning these new techniques and things, and spirit's trying to like lead you through those things. Think of your body going through the same things. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that are wondering, I am Slytherin, okay? For those of y'all that's wondering, I'm big Slytherin in this, okay? All right, okay. So anyway, Slytherin gang, okay? But anyway, no, I just somebody said I'm hearing somebody say with a hint of Gryffindor. Okay, I can take that with a hint of Gryffindor. But anyway, so think of your body going through these and your spirit going through these new things. Even Avatar. You know, if you don't watch Harry Potter, if you watch Avatar, for those of y'all that know me throughout the years, I'm a big Avatar fan, and I'm not talking about the blue Avatar is cool. Even though it does give colonization. Not going to go there today. I'm talking about Aang and the gang with the Avatar. You know what I'm saying? The Fire Nation, the Water Tribe, you know what I'm saying? Earth Gang, Metal, all of them is what I'm talking about. And getting these new, spiritual or basically these abilities coming into form and things like that. Okay, you have to trust in not having a plan. Like, the thing about it is, I feel like this Pisces Virgo access, it gives you great vision, right? So you get in all these downloads, you like, okay, well, this is what I need to do next, or da 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 da. But trusting that the plan that maybe that you initially had for your life, or the plans that you had initially to live in this system of a world that we've been kind of like brainwashed or just kind of put into, think about it no longer existing, because it's breaking right now. So I know it's hard to think about, especially because we've been kind of coached to live through this stuff for so long. But what happens without it? Like, start thinking in a space of, if this stuff did not exist, if this system did not exist, what would I be doing? Where would I go? If I was with my tribe, what would my tribe look like? What does my family dynamic look like? And this could be blood or not blood family. Okay, that's your tribe. What does that look like for you? Becoming the visionary of your own life. Like, I want to say this, we've never been able to trust our government, okay? We've never been able to trust the elites and powers that be. They never gave a damn, never gave a, okay? So without that, leave the world behind, okay? Where would you go and what would you do and where would you be? We have to start thinking about these things in context of it all really falling to the ground, because that's essentially what is happening here. So that level of trust, which Pisces is going to be showing us that you have to have within yourself and that you have to have for the things that are happening around you, always needs to be strong. That energy of, I'm thinking of like the grandmothers with them praying hands, okay? They are like, baby, I need you to trust. I just need you to trust, okay? I need you to trust. I need you to trust that at the end of the day, everything is working out exactly how it should, even when chaos is ensued. Okay, because think about it. The fish are going in different directions. Okay, one fish is going upstream, the other fish is going downstream. So even when chaos is ensuing, being in a 2025, year 9, okay, before we get into 10, when we start over, this is the year of destruction and completion. Still knowing that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to, okay, and keeping that in mind, okay. I want y'all to hold that tight as we move through these times, okay, and using your discernment and your intuition to guide you to what those next things are going to be, and you having that time alone, making time alone. I don't know, for those of y'all that might be watching this in the future, if you have kids or if you have brothers and sisters or if you have a family, and some of y'all are like, well, maybe I don't live alone or I don't have the time. Make time to be alone. I don't care how you got to do it. Make time to have time and space for yourself to get clarity, to get the downloads, the necessary downloads and things that you need in order to know what you need to do to move forward. That's going to be your goal. The plan, not to say that you can't plan for things, but just know that even within those planning at any given time, those plans can change at a second. We are moving into Uranus and Gemini, y'all. Okay, this year. That energy in itself alone is chaotic as hell. Okay, it's chaotic. You don't know what's going to be happening with Gemini at any given point. All right, I can attest to that. Okay, I know Gemini energy very well. It's in me. Okay, so you just don't know. Pop goes the weasel. All right. Hi, Ty. What's up, boo? My fellow Pisces rising. What's up? So, yeah. So just keeping that in mind, y'all, when you're moving through this energy, okay? This is where we're going to start to see the artisans, the musicians, the magicians come to the forefront, okay? The healers come to the forefront, you know? Everybody want to be like, oh, Pisces this, oh, Virgo this, until you need some healing. And you know, it's cool. It's cool. We see you. We see you. Okay? Until you need the healing. Okay? You said, I gotta cut the lines up here glowing with the shoulders out. You know, I have to put them things out on me. Thank you, boo. I am. I've been feeling really good. Well, I'll talk towards the end. I've been feeling good. I've been feeling really, really, really good for this. You know, even with everything happening, I'm like, woosah. You know, like I know why I'm here, right? Like I'm understanding why I'm here. So, but yes. We're going to see the artists. We're going to see the musicians. We're going to see, and I hope you're well too. We're going to see the artists, musicians, the makers. If also, and I want to say this, if y'all are being inclined to learn a new language, and I might have said this on previous videos, if you're inclined to learn a new language, or maybe even to start a new language, okay, do it, okay? Because I think of Pisces as the ancient language or the original language, okay? Also think of Pisces, for example, when we're talking about hieroglyphics and symbols and signs. And like I talked about downloads, and I've been talking about downloads and like getting signs and symbols and things like that and being able to like read between the lines. This is the energy that we're talking about here with Piscean energy. You know, I've also been getting a lot of downloads about like mermaids. I've been getting a lot of downloads about underwater. I think it's really weird. Like, what was that? I think it was like my 30th birthday. Yeah, it was my 30th birthday. About to be 33 y'all this year in August. Oh, this is crazy. I'm getting up there, y'all. Still fine though, but getting up there. Anyway. When I went to the water for my birthday, my 30th birthday, I wanted to go to the beach, this particular beach, But they told me that they were working on the seawalls for the next 4 years. And I've been noticing that there's a lot of talk about beaches and waterways being shut down due to work that is happening on the seawalls. Okay? So just keep that in mind. And y'all seen what water life has been doing, from the orcas to the whales. You've seen how nature has been moving as of recent. Okay? There's something going on in the water that they're not telling us about. And of course they're not going to tell us about. You can't even talk to orcas. Like, basically, they say that you'll be fine if you try to talk to orcas. They don't want us talking and communicating with the water. It's very weird. It's giving very eerie. Yeah, there's something going on. I also want to say, me personally, and I don't know if y'all are feeling this, but I'm going to mention it anyway, because it's something that I've talked about this when I feel like, I don't know if that was last year when Venus was in Pisces. I forget when it was, because Venus is in Pisces now. But I forget what transit that was, or Mercury was in Pisces, something like that. I have been getting a lot of downloads about wooden boats, like our transportation. A lot of downloads about like transportation in the water. A lot of downloads about like moving in the water, whether that's underwater movement, of like being able to travel in the water, or on top of water by ship or by boat. I just see with this revolution, or this revolutionary times happening, people going back to maybe things that we used to do in the past, like barter and trading. You know, I'm seeing like coastal towns that are being built, because people are going to start to separate themselves from the system. Not everybody, but people are going to start to separate themselves from the system. So before we go into, because we're in North Node in Pisces, and we're going to be North Node in Aquarius, with Pluto, by the way, mind you. So communities are forming, and new communities are going to start to form globally around the world as people start to separate themselves from the system. And so I'm starting to think about, and I don't know if y'all have, please tell me in the comments or in the live chat if y'all want to, like some of the things that y'all been thinking or seeing. But I'm just seeing a lot of like coastal or spaces and places, even volcano activations as well. I know we're not necessarily talking about fire itself, but I mean, we are talking about Virgo, mutable earth, and the land expanding. I've been doing a lot of research on volcanoes being able to make new cities or new land, or to be able to make new islands and stuff. And so a lot of that, I'm getting so many downloads at once, y'all. I'm sorry. Like my mind is moving faster than I'm speaking right now. Actually, this year when I was in Mexico City, I love Mexico City. For those of y'all, if you ever get a chance to go to Mexico City, it's beautiful. It's amazing. If you have the opportunity to go, please go. It's a mountainous area, you know, and there's a line called the volcanic belt that crosses over the coast where Oaxaca is, in that area, Puerto Escondido, Puerto Vallarta, all that kind of stuff. These volcanoes that have laid dormant for years are starting to activate again, y'all. Like, they're starting to activate again. And I said this on a video, I don't know which video that was, or some videos that I sent into my past of like, seeing pyramids reactivate, right? Volcanic eruptions and activations and things like that. You know, breaking the proverbial border, or breaking the proverbial walls and things, and being able to go and explore new places that we've never been to before, new cities, new destinations that we've never been to, that are not even that are not even charted on the map. Google Map and all of them, and the paper maps, none of them. We are moving into times of exploration, okay? And I know that sounds very far-fetched, especially in the world that we live in. It's like, oh no, what we have. No, y'all, there's more to be seen. And so I've been like having a lot of downloads of like wanting to build wooden boats and wanting to build wooden ships and wanting to build new cities, or not new cities, more so like a beach, like a water town, you know. My people, my ancestral line, we're not necessarily all water energy, but we live by water, or we lived by water. And I say this to say because of this Pisces energy of like reconnecting our relationship with the water. Like, it's interesting to me that, not to say that everybody in each place, because of course people lived in like desert spaces. Some people lived in wetlands. Some people lived like jungles and stuff. Some people lived by water. Some people lived by these different spaces and areas and things like that, and navigated within the realm of those things. But there's just, especially with nature, there's certain things I feel like, there's a lot of things I feel like we have lost by moving away from nature. But I feel like we're going to start coming back into again, like learning the water, learning how to navigate the water, learning how to fish. You know, for example, learning how to build foundations in our, our bed floors, meaning like our land and things like that. Like how to utilize the land to where not only are we just taking from it and taking from it, but we're also like revitalizing the land as well, you know? So I'm seeing, I'm just seeing a lot of like connecting back to nature in that way of like being able to understand the world and the land on a deeper level and a deeper perspective. I don't know. It's just something that's been coming to me. And maybe once I formulate a little bit more, but that's just what I've been thinking, especially like moving into this new, energy with the North Node and Pisces and things like that, of like how we are relating to our lands. Yeah, give me gratitude to the elements, definitely. And our earth, like how, yeah. Another story for another time. We'll talk about it later. But so some of the lessons as we wrap this up, and then I'll talk about some other things at the end. Some of the lessons that we can take away from the Pisces axis and the Pisces Virgo axis in this new chapter, the end and the beginning, right? Purification, faith, and religion. Okay, we're experiencing a major shift, or what I like to call the global reset, and there is an attempt to convert our economy, beliefs, and our family dynamics. Okay, we are in a space where it's, y'all, it's honestly, as I'm talking about this, it's so weird to talk about, because it's like, I've been waiting for this my entire life. No Phil Collins, okay? I can hear it calling in the air tonight, okay? No Phil Collins. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. No joke. To see the complete eradication. Like I said, it's going to take some time, but the complete eradication of a system that never served us in the first place. I need y'all to understand this. Because I've seen a lot of people in the ethers talking about, how could they do this? Why is nobody getting sued? Why is nobody being held accountable? Well, y'all, the gag is they were never going to hold themselves accountable. Why? Because they don't care. And until we understand this collectively, because I know we look at our governments and our politicians and these fake, just very fake green screens and these actors on a stage as like these people who are supposed to care about us. I need you to understand that they do not, and they never have. Their only goal and their only mission is to keep us from seeing us for exactly who we are as a people. Like that's it. That's their only goal. They're not worried about what we ate yesterday. They're not worried about that. Everything that they have ever done in this system is to keep us confined to it. And I know, y'all, I know it sounds scary to break free from it. I know it sounds scary to break free because we've never, from what we know in this time, because I mean, we've had people who are, what do you say? This is going to help us see the vision clearer, how to move away from the old patriarchy system and going away from the ego mind and growing. Exactly. So think of this Pisces Virgo axis. I'm excited too, Ty. Think of this Pisces Virgo axis as the great reset. Decolonizing your mind, decolonizing your body, decolonizing your spirit, Pisces Virgo in the vessel, away from the bullshit that never cared about you, okay? That never cared. I want y'all to keep this in mind. And I'm not saying this because I'm like trying to be like the Debbie Downer, type shit. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm dead serious. This is the time. We have a window of opportunity to do something different this time. And we can either look at it as an opportunity, or we can keep pointing the fingers at the same people who have done nothing, mind you, for decades. It seems as if they were doing things, but they haven't been doing anything at all. The only thing that they have been doing is basically orchestrating ways to keep themselves in power, in a falsified version of power. That's it. They're scared of what. Look at what they're doing on TikTok. Just a prime example. We have never, that I know, that in this time that I've seen, we have never been able to see what has been happening in other parts of the world in real time, ever in life, ever. I mean, back then in the day, I know people would write the scrolls and send the scrolls like telephones and a new village and new places and things like that. And they'd be like, yes, this is what's happening in our town, what's happening with yours. And maybe it would take weeks to get from one place to another, and shit has already changed by then. This is real-time stuff that we're seeing in the media. And I know AI is coming into play, and it's getting very hard to tell what's real and what's fake. And that's another reason to be able to discern too. Again, if it feels wrong or feels off, it's probably because it is. If you're having to be like one of these, is it that? Probably because it is, boo. Follow that. And so keep that in mind as we're moving through these things. We have never been able to connect like this. We got all these other problems going on in the world that were self-caused, not by us, but But the thing that y'all are worried about is TikTok, because we talking and information is getting out. What did he say? Are we not worried about our health? Are we not worried about what's going on in all these other places in the world? Because the thing about it is, I know people are like, well, why are we worried about this? And why are we worried about them? And why are we worried about that? Y'all, we are all connected together. Like, we're literally all connected. And I know it may be hard to believe, but we're all feeling into each other. Pisces is going to show us this. Like, I see, for example, the things that we used to do as kids. I see like little videos and stuff like that, like things that people used to do as kids and little funny stuff that we used to do our kids. I'm like, dang, you used to do that too? Like y'all used to do that too? Where did you get that from? Like, how would you even know? Like, how would you have that experience and you way across the world? So we're connected deeper than we think. And so with that being said and keeping that in mind, okay, moving throughout these next years and these coming years, what affects one affects all. You are not dismissed you will never be dismissed from what is happening on the other side of the world. Just because it hasn't hit you yet doesn't mean that you're not directly being affected by it, whether that's in a physical sense or a spiritual sense, you know? And I said that to say, again, going back to the martyrism, I'm not saying that you are here to help everybody. You cannot solve all of the planet and Earth's problems, okay? But one thing I can say about it is you're not going to be able to do it alone. We're not going to be able to do this shit alone. So once we do come about this axis of Virgo and Pisces, and you go inward and you really find that time to figure out, okay, well, what is it do I want? What does the world look like to me moving forward? What does my community, what does my tribe look like to me moving forward? Once you really start to get those questions and you start to gain that clarity, by the time the North Node moves into Aquarius and the South Node goes into Leo, baby, it's going to be time to move on it. Like, we're making little steps now, but it's going to be time then to move on it. You know, I know that it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I still have a lot of faith in humanity. I do. And a lot of people all over the years have called me crazy, or not necessarily just crazy. Most people are just like, just wait till you get 40. It's not going to hit the same. You know, you're all happy-go-lucky about the world and the earth. Ha, 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 ha. But once you get about my age, 40, 50, 60 years old, like, you're going to see things a lot differently than you are now. Like, you won't have that same. No, I'm always going to have this spirit. You know why? I'm going to always have this spirit because I'm here. And personally, I don't feel that we were here to live, work, and die. I don't. I still have faith in humanity as well. I'm never giving that up. Never. Why were we put on this earth? Were we just put on this earth to work ourselves to the bone and then go into retirement and die? Is that what life is? You got to be out your goddamn mind. Please. Like, please. Yeah. We were meant to progress on this earth. And I don't mean in a sense of just ambition and, you know, work and my career. No, y'all. We were meant to come on this earth to make memories, to learn about each other, learn different languages, eat different foods. Back in the day, in them ancient times, nigga, we used to travel from village to village. We might go back home to our places, but we would go to village. Learning Chinese and shit from other places. Going to Marrakesh. Trading with people in Marrakesh. Coming back home, be like, I learned, I went to Marrakesh. They had the silk, They was teaching me how to sew or turn iron in that's what we're creators of the world. We're creators. You know, I had a mentor one time tell me, she's a Pisces sun, Scorpio rising, Leo moon. And she's one of my mentors. Shout out to Lizbeth. I remember when she told me one time, it was about, I think it was like 2021, 2020, 2021. All this stuff was happening. And I was getting ready for an online exhibit. For those of you that don't know, I have I would say a mobile history project called the Black Lesbian Archives. And so we were just talking about, like, you know, her time and some of the things that she's been through and some of the things that, you know, like what we're going through and what we're seeing collectively, because our times in the 80s and the 90s and then now, they're like mirroring each other and things. And she said, you know what, crew? She was like, you know, this journey of yours is just getting started. And she's like, I just want to tell you there's two things that you can be in this world. You can either be a builder or you can be a destroyer. And when she said that is always stuck with me, even to this day. You can be a builder or you could be a destroyer. Which side of the coin do you want to be on? And don't get me wrong, I think that there's a necessary evil to destroying shit. I do. I'm not all of peace and sometimes, if you getting clapped, sometimes you gotta clap back. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I don't always think you need to keep the peace. There's some times where peace should be still. Okay? I thoroughly believe in that. But I also think that there's times of needing to build and envision on what the world could actually look like that's actually beneficial to us. Now, are we going to agree on the same things? No. We're not. We're not all going to agree on the same things, but that's the beauty of it. You have all of our great thinker minds, that have yet to be tapped in because we've been so conditioned to be work, live, die, work, live, die, that we haven't even allowed our minds and our spirits to unlock to their fullest potential yet. Just imagine if we were actually moving on our gifts, moving on our not only just our spiritual abilities, but we got all types of, and even if you're not like an arts, I believe everything is art, me personally. To a goddamn, somebody who's inventing a damn light bulb, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's an architect building something. I think everything is art, me personally. But to the artisans and the creators and things, that's what we were here to do. We were here to develop those things, those gifts. But when we live in a system that is telling us that we must live to or work to live and have a roof over our heads, our basic necessities, and to eat food, oftentimes we become muddled in the mundane of life, right? Of the day-to-day. But this access is asking us to find a higher purpose, a spiritual purpose, and working towards that, and honoring the divine plan. What is your divine plan in this life? And if you're looking at this and you're like, I really don't know what my divine plan is, that's okay. Because maybe it wasn't maybe it's not revealed to you just yet. Maybe what you've been put on this earth to do hasn't been fully revealed to you just yet. And that's okay. But if you can envision, if you can see, and I'm not just talking about in a physical sense with your eyes, but if you can really see, the world and for what it is and what you would like it to be, what you could see those things to be, then it's there for a reason. Those thoughts and those visions didn't just come to you out of nowhere. You know what I mean? They didn't just come to you out of nowhere. They were put on your head for a reason. So you follow that. And that's what Pisces, this North Node in Pisces and the South Node is Virgo, is going to ask us to do. Virgo is practical. It's going to ask you to put that practical plan in, okay? We about that practication, baby. Practical. What is practical in this moment? What can I do right now without trying to control the outcome? Okay? And that's where Pisces comes in as a support. I don't need to control it. I just know that it's all divinely working out as it's supposed to be. Okay? So I said this all to say, I know I've been yapping. Like I do. But let the tail seduce you. No, Louis de Pontelac. Let the tail seduce you. Become a visionary of your own world, a creator that you wanted to be, that you always wanted to be. We're in this window of opportunity. So what do you want to do with that information? What is it that you want to do with that information moving forward? If you know that you're the creator of your own world and you know that you're the creator of your own life, what does that life look like for you? Okay? It's been a real challenge for me to surrender to an intuitive, creative reality, but I'm slowly transitioning. Yeah, it is hard, especially like I said, the world that we live in, Pisces energy in the world that we live in. Don't get me wrong, like media-wise, because Pisces and Gemini rule media, so but it's controlled media, right? It has that Saturnian energy to it. While we're in Saturn and Pisces, right? There's a control there's a controlling element to the ways in which we are seeing things, right, and dreaming things. Oh, that's not real. That's not reality. That's not the real world. Get a real job. Do a real, get a real thing. Then a real thing. It's like, well, what's actually real here? Because, I mean, I'm looking around and all I'm seeing is fake shit. So what's really real? What's really real? Really? Who told us what is real? Because this shit don't look real to me. It looks very fake. It's given the Truman Show. No Jim Carrey. Okay? I mean, if we look at it from a distance, from afar, you can see in between the lines, is what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If all of this stuff is made up, our money system is made up, the rules and regulation is made up, because who told y'all that that was gold and that was law? Who told us that we had to follow these rules? If all of that is made up, then what are we doing? At any given term, we as a people can say, oh, wow, that's crazy. Because, I mean, you're making up your own rules. I can make up my own. Yeah, I can do what I want to do. I think the big thing that I'm also seeing too, or one of the big things that I'm also seeing too with the world is like, or just conversations I've been having of just like, I see everybody at like the front lines, right? And this is descriptive, right? Everybody's at the front lines, but everybody's looking at each other as like, okay, who's going to bust first? And I know everybody's talking about Mr. Luigi, no Mario Kart, him and all this other type of stuff, which again, I believe was orchestrated, but that's me. Okay. I think that was orchestrated. I mean, hey, if that's what the energy that they want to come with, that's fine. But it's just this is ensuing more than what meets the eye. Just take everything with a grain of salt is what I'm trying to say. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, you feel me? Tight shit. Hi, Jerica. Oh my God. What's up, Jerry? That's my girl right there. What's up, boo? How you doing? I'm over here, today's the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, so we just talking about some things, girl. I'm gonna call you when I get off the call and everything like that. I'll call you. I see you too, boo. So yeah, this is like a calling as to you just made me lose my train of you made me lose my train of thought, boo. I love you too. So yeah, this is basically, like as I was saying before, if you had to strip everything away and we didn't have all this other type of stuff, but you good, boo. And we didn't have all this other stuff without a system. Again, what would that look like now? What would that look like in this time as we're moving into this new world with all the fake shit stripped away? And that right there, that new foundation, as we talk about Pisces being the ending, because it's all 12 signs into one, is this being the ending, us being in a 9-year 2025, the ending before the beginning, which we move into 2026. What does this look like now? What does it feel like now? Surrendering, like I said, that's what I was saying. I was like, what was I saying before? Surrendering is Pisces. So the ability to allow the earth or to allow the world, right, to release and relinquish control and let go, which we live in a very earthly based world. Like, honestly, earth is earth. I mean, it's the foundation. We know, we've lived on I don't know why I'm hearing contingency plan. But we live on a plan of like, okay, you work this much. This is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, or this is what you're going to do for these years, or you're going to get this job, or you're going to find this thing, you're going to do that for the rest of your life. And then again, work, live, die. But without that, from a system that's completely crashing now, and we have the wherewithal to do whatever it is that we want to do, what does that look like now? And that's what I was saying. I was like, what? Okay. So what I was saying, the jargon of what I've been seeing online, or what I've been seeing, like everybody's standing at this front line, right? And everybody's looking like, okay, well, who's going to bust first? Because I'm kind of, I'm kind of scared now. I don't know who's going to bust first. I don't know who's going to make the move first. Everybody's scared to make the move because of the repercussions. It's fear. Everybody is afraid of what might happen if they so choose to go against a system that has kept us oppressed for so long. And that could be hard, it's like people don't want to die. But I like to say this. Me personally, I say this, okay? And I don't know if y'all seen American Gods. If you have not seen, I don't know if it's still on, I think it's on Prime. It might be on Prime. If not, if you haven't got a chance to see American Gods, just please, if you could just go see the first episode with Anansi. Or if you can't see American Gods, it might be on YouTube of episode with Anansi in it. The spider god. The web weaving god. And there was a scene on American Gods where there was a bunch of slaves on a ship and they were being taken to the Americas, and everybody was praying for Anansi. They were chanting Anansi. They were like, Anansi, please, Anansi, help us, Anansi. Anansi came out that back thing. He looked at all of them. Long story short, he looked at all of them. He said, what are you? I can't say it word for word, but this is how I took the interpretation. He said, what are you mother doing up in here? He said, if you stay in bondage, you might as well be dead already. They took them, listen, they overturned the whole boat after that. They turned that motherfucker out. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if we might as well be dead, right? If we're in a space where we're laying down and taking it, in a sense of allowing a system to put us in fear, or make us feel like we don't have any other options, or make us feel like we can't move, we might as well be dead. And I'm not ensuing, to take your own, all right? I'm not ensuing any of that. I'm just saying, okay, that we have choices. We have other ways that we can go about doing this, y'all. Get creative. This is the time to get really creative about what it is that you can see and what you want to do in this world, and the visions that you have for this world. And it's like I said, it's a hard feat when we've been so mentally programmed. We've been so, this is what we have to do in order to, it's hard. I know, trust me. It's like, damn, well, what does it look like if I don't live this kind of, like, I've never lived it any other way. The decolonizing process is gonna take some time. Okay, it's gonna take a little time to move completely through. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna feel uncomfortable as well. I'm not gonna say it's just gonna be like, oh, okay, snap. You wake up one day and be like, oh, okay, let me just do, I'm gonna just do me. No, it takes time. Trust me, I know. It's taken me so much time throughout the years to get to where I'm at now. Like, and I'm still working through things that I'm like having to say, well, and even asking my own self the question, I'm like, wait, do I want to do these things? Like, no, I don't want to be doing this, and I don't want to be doing that. Like, I've even been looking up a word that's been coming to me a lot is sovereignty, or claiming sovereignty over myself, over my body, over my claiming sovereignty over my spirit. Like, I'm not owned by any entity. I'm not owned by a government, or owned by, I can't be ruled or dominated and things. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's been coming to me, is the word sovereign, or claiming sovereign over my own body and spirit is something that's been coming to me too. So yeah, y'all, I've been rambling, I've been talking, I've been going in, I really just hope that this transit with the North Node going into Pisces and the South Node going into Virgo brings you a sense of clarity within yourself, going inward within yourself, and really figuring out exactly what it is that you want to bring into this life and bring into this world. Like I said, we're in the middle of a good time. We're in the middle of such a beautiful time of a transition to like do something completely different than maybe we haven't done before. So just follow that. Let your intuition, allow that Piscean intuition, allow that to navigate you to the next step. If you were the captain of your own ship, where would you go? You know what I mean? The Virgo is going to give you the plan, right? The Pisces is going to give you the intuitive energy to make the next step. Again, lean on those intuitive hits. If something is telling you, and you in that space, and you like, something is telling me to do, something is telling me to, I'm not really quite sure why, but something is telling me, follow it. Follow it. You getting those intuitive hits? Follow it. Your dreams, write them down. If you start having like real wild dreams, you don't really know what's up, write it down. Write them down. Commune with your spiritual team. Now, I say spiritual team over ancestry. Okay, no shade. Because now depending on your relationship to your ancestors, that's on you. You feel me? But not all ancestors are created equal, all right? So just discern your ancestors, all right? But your spiritual team, I commune with them. Ask them questions. Ask them, yo, could y'all please give me a little bit more clarity on this? I'm not really sure what direction I need to go. Could y'all give me a little bit more clarity on what's next for me? Ask. Build that relationship with your people, your team. And they'll show you. Like I said, the North Node is in Pisces. They're going to give you them symbols. They're going to give you them symbols and be like, all right, girl, we need you to go this way. All right, girl, we need you to go that way. All right, girl, maybe you should go in this direction instead of going in this direction today. I don't know. Follow it. All right. So with that being said, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this live. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this. I know there was a lot of information. We will be doing rising signs. I'll probably start dropping rising signs next week. Yeah. So if you want to know how this is going to affect you personally by your personal rising sign, we will start with Aries, and then we will make our way back down to Pisces rising next week. Now, I'm not going to put them all out. Y'all know how I be dropping them. I'm done. Probably like four a week. So yes, I will see y'all as we drop these new ones. Thank you so much, Vivi. Thank you so much, Ty. It's so good to see y'all. I promise I'm coming back. I know I've been gone, and people have been on my messages and Instagram like, so you still active? Or like, what are we doing here? I'm like, oh, just give me a second. I've been traveling, okay? I've been traveling across the 7 seas. But I'm back, all right? We are also going to continue the series that we were doing with the astrocartography, the root work, and what else was I doing? Damn, I almost forgot what I was doing. We did astrocartography, root work, astrology. It was something. I done forgot what I was doing from a series. We're also going to start that series up. I think I'm probably going to be doing the rising sign videos for the North Node of Pisces and South Node of Virgo first, and then we'll jump back into finishing the astrocartography and root work astrology and other teams, okay? So I will be seeing y'all next week. Please enjoy the rest of this transit, and I will see y'all soon. Much love. Deuces! And y'all know where to find me, all right? All right. The website is up. I know it was down for a little bit, but the website, if you want to do personal readings, all that good stuff, that's up on my link tree, and I will post that on the description box below. And yeah, hit me up if y'all have any questions, and I will see y'all soon. Deuces.